This is what Black Friday means to some people. But this is what Black Friday means to me.
Yeah. Small, big, thank you.
Black Friday is probably one of my favorite days of the entire year.
All the moms go shopping.
And we get to
go play poker.
all day long. Usually my sessions on a regular week are, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours long. But on Black Friday, I can play 8, 10, 12 hours while the girls are shopping. And it's an extra bonus if you have some run good and play good on Black Friday. And man, did those things happen for me this week. And it's just fantastic. I love it. And so does Billy. So we went to WinStar and we played all day long. And we absolutely crushed it. I had my biggest win of the year. And Billy had a very, very large win also, correct? Mm-hmm. I won $1,990. You won?
$1,190.
$1,190. That's pretty good. Black Friday at WinStar. Yeah. What we doing, Billy?
Playing.
Playing what? Little poker. What's the goal today? Yes, mine is.
More than mom and more than her shopping.
That's true. That's a good idea. I started off just a little bit slow. Lost a couple of big hands. I was in for 500 in a 2-5 game, and then I had to buy in for another 300. So I'm in for 800 in a 2-5 game, and then the run good happened. It all started when I had pocket aces in middle position 1. There was a limper. I made it $30. Ended up being 5 callers. Or 4 more callers, 5 players. So 150 on the flop, and it comes ace of hearts, jack of hearts, 2 of clubs. I flop top set. It checks to me. I bet 75, and the big blind calls. The turn with 300 in the pot is the 3 of spades, and he shoves all in for 270. Of course, I snap call. The river comes a second deuce, giving me a full house, and I show. He winces and mucks. Later he said he had pocket 3s for a lesser full house. Not sure if I believe that, but it's possible. So I have 1,300, and about 2 or 3 hands later, I get pocket aces again. This time I'm in middle position 2. The under a gun makes it 25. I raise it to 80. Only the under the gun calls. The flop with 167 in the pot comes queen 10 3. He checks. I bet 105. And he folds. So I didn't get paid a whole lot on that one, but it wasn't bad. So I now have 1,450. I'm in the +1 with 9 of spades, 10 of spades. There was a limper. I made it 25. The button and the small blind and the limper all called. So on the flop, 102 in the pot. That comes 10 of clubs, 8 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. It checks to me. I bet 50. Small blind calls. He's the big stack. The turn comes the ace of clubs. He checks to me. I bet 105, and he makes the call. The river, ace of hearts. Ouch. He leaves out for 150. I had to fold, and he showed 6-9 for the straight. Wow. Awesome, dude. He already had the straight.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Good hand, bud. Okay, this next hand probably is one of the best run good hands I could ever have. It was only a few hands after I lost that last one. When I built it back up to about 1,500, I get pocket aces again under the gun. I make it 35. There's a regular Randy on the button who makes the call, and a buddy of mine, Damon, is in the small blind, and he makes the call. Damon also has a big stack, and he's a really good player. The flop with 112 in it comes queen 9 6. It checks to me. I make it 60. Randy on the button calls. Damon's thinking the dealer doesn't see him, and the dealer turns the next card. And Damon says, wait a minute, I haven't made a decision yet. Well, that next card was another queen. Damon ends up folding. And of course, the rules say they have to put
back.
that queen back in the deck, shuffle it back in, do the original, what would have been the river as the turn, and then they'll do a different river. So anyhow, on the turn now it comes a 7. I make it 120 and Randy fold. I asked Damon, did you have a queen? And he did have a queen. But he ended up having to fold. That other queen was going to get dealt back.
So the queen in? Yeah. Oh, ouch. So you're going to call 75?
That's what I was waiting.
Yeah.
So right there, that is some absolute run good, run fantastic, run unbelievable. And here's some more incredible run good, at least I think so. I won with ace-10, 4 hands in a row that I played. 3 actual hands right in a row, then it skipped 3 hands, and then I won with ace-10 again. Unbelievable. Ace-10 is usually a horrible hand. It's one of my least favorite hands in the whole world, but on this day, pretty darn good. So I'm under the gun with ace-10. I have 1,250. There was a brand new guy at the table, an old school New York type of guy. Anyhow, I raised to 20. There was 4 callers. So on the flop, there's 100, and at flop comes 10 of spades, 9 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. I flop top. I bake 50, and only the cutoff calls, which is my New York friend. The turn has 200 in the pot, is the 9 of spades, the second 9. I check. He bets 65, and I make the call. The river with 330 in the pot is a 7. I check. He bets 145. I pretty much snap call. He's either got me crushed, or I'm ahead, or else I win, and he mucks his cards. Win number 2 with ace-10. I'm on the big blind with ace-10. I have $1,400. There's 3 limpers. I make it 25, and they all call. The flop with 100 in the pot comes 10-8-5. Checks to me. I bet 50, and they all fold. Third hand with ace-10. I'm in the small blind, now 1475. There's 4 limpers. I just decided to call this time, play it sneaky, and the big blind calls. So the flop has $30. It comes king, 6-2, and it gets checked around. The turn is an ace. It checks. A guy bet 25, a couple of folders. There's another call, and I make the call. So now, river, 105, comes the 8 of spades. It checks around, and my ace is good. I then had maybe 2-3 hands that I didn't play, and finally I got the hand I played, 4th one, middle position 1, ace-10, 1,700. It limps. There's a limper. I limp. The cutoff limps. The button makes it 35. This is Tommy, who said he had pocket 3s when I had pocket aces, and he said it would have been full house or full house. Anyhow, he made it 35, and there was 2 callers. So the flop with 115 comes 10-10-3. Ridiculous. It checks to Tommy. He bets 60. I raise it up to 145. Very, very small raise. He only has like 220 back, but both players fold. I really thought he couldn't fold to that bet. Anyhow, the guy next to me, Brian, who's a regular at WinStar, says, if you have ace-10, you have to show. I turned over my cards, and the table went crazy. It was like the Super Bowl or something. They went, oh my gosh, how can you win with ace-10 4 times in a row? So it was pretty ridiculous. So I'm on the button with 6 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. I have 1,800. The +1 makes it 25. MP1 calls, and I call. The flop with $80 comes jack of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds. I flop a flush. The +1 makes it 50. Next guy folds. I raise it up to 120, and he makes the call. The turn with 320 in the pot is the 6 of hearts. He checks. I go all in because he only has about 300 left, and unfortunately he folds. So as I was playing, I got a phone call from my wife. I happened to have just folded a hand, and I didn't realize the camera was on. So the camera recorded some of my conversation, and this will show you a little bit about how I was running that day. Hey, we're both doing so good. No, Morgan, I got a table that I absolutely can run over Billy too. I'm up $2,000 now. Billy's up 500. Okay, you guys ready for some more ridiculous run good? I mean, this is a pretty unbelievable day. I am in the middle position 1 with pocket 5s. The +1 makes it 40. I make the call. MP2 makes it 140. The big blind goes all in for 170. The +1 folds. The MP2 only has about $200 left, and I just decide, you know what, there's not enough money. I really need to get 8, 10, 12 times my money in order to call and set mine, so I decide to fold. The flop comes ace king 5. Oh, I wish I'd have been in. The board runs at 9-7. MP2 had pocket kings. It would have been set over set. I would have lost all my money, but again, ridiculous run good, and I only lost $40 on a hand that I could have easily lost, what, it would have been $450, $500. Okay, now my stack has grown to $27.50. I'm in the big blind with ace of hearts, queen of diamonds. There are 4 limpers to me. I make it 40, and only the middle position 2 calls. There's 100 in the pot to a flop of king of hearts, 10 of clubs, 2 of hearts. I bet $45 and he makes the call. The turn with 190 in the pot is bingo bongo, the jack of spades, giving me Broadway. I bet 75 and he makes the call. The river, 340 in the pot, really a bad card. Hits the 5 of hearts, bringing in the flush. I really think that he has been trying to hit the flush, so I check. He checks behind. Good news for me. I show and he mucks. Man, if that hadn't been a heart, I might have gotten paid some pretty good dollars on that one, but it's okay. Okay, by this time we've been playing probably 7.5 hours. Billy decides he wants to go play in the tournament, but we're hungry, haven't had anything to eat. So Billy and I and our buddy Stone and another buddy, Randy Hayes, all from our Wednesday Poker League, we all went to El Phoenix, had a nice conversation and had a nice dinner, and then I was back at it. Yeah, so before you went to play the tournament, we went to dinner, and he said, I'll just late reg. And he said, Dad, I just crushed the tournaments here. And he does. And he said, I'm probably just going to win it. A tournament player, he's beast. So when I left the table, I had $3,200, and I was in for $800, so I was up $2,400. When I got back, it did get a little dry. So I got down to about $2,500. I decided, you know what, I'm going to table change here, which means go back to the original stack of 500, but put the money in my pocket that I was up. So no matter what happened at this next table, I was going to be up, what, $1,200 or $1,300, regardless of anything that happened at this table. And it didn't start so well. I had $485 when I went to the table. I was down to $320. Pretty tough players at this table, a bunch of young guys. I know a lot of them, but fun to play with though. But as would have it on this day, my luck turned around and I got some more run good. So I'm in the hijack with pocket aces again. It was just ridiculous how many times I got it. I had $380. The under the gun made it 15. The +1 and the MP2 called. I made it 90. MP2 calls. The flop comes 6 of spades, 6 of clubs, 3 of clubs. It checks to me. I make it 65, and he shoves all in for 300. Of course, I snap call. He has king of clubs, queen of clubs, and is on a flush draw. The turn is a queen of diamonds. The river, jack of hearts. And Mr. Bill holds up. I double up. So by this time, I'm really getting tired, and now Billy's going really deep in the tournament. So I didn't record a whole lot of hands after that, because every hand I was not in, I was up from my chair, and I was sweating Billy, who was down to the final table of the daily tournament. So the daily tournament was only $65, but top prize was $1,600. I think they were down to 11, then 9. I went over to see Billy with 7. He's the chip leader. I got a couple of bad beats, so they got down to 5.
And we chopped that 5 ways for $8.15.
So not bad for a 21-year-old kid, $65 tournament. Got $8.35. He also won in both his 1-3 and 1-2 sessions. You played cash. What were you playing, 1-3?
Well, we got there at 12:30, and I played 1-3 for about 6 hours till we went to dinner.
You were doing really good,
well,
then lost.
The first 10 minutes I was down $100, but then I ended up getting that up to where I was up $500, and then finished the session only up $185.
So anyhow, so he won $815 in the tournament.
Then played a little 1-2.
A little 1-2. He said it was the easiest game he's ever played in. It's so much fun to be the table captain, isn't it? It's fun. Way more fun to win than not win. So congratulations to Billy for almost a $1,200 win on the day. And again, for me, Black Friday, greatest poker day of the year. I ended up winning $1,990 for the day. That's my biggest win of the year. And I know that sounds crazy, but as I've said before, I only play 2 3-hour sessions. So I don't really have a whole lot of big wins. This day, with a 12-hour session, I ended up winning almost $2,000, and it was just fantastic. Black Friday, it's the best, people.
But you know, when they were younger, they would have these private Instagrams. What's it?
This is the gang. There's Lou. Lou's waving at somebody.
How you doing?
There's Ryan. There's Morgan and Vicky. Maybe what you boys think of our Wednesday night poker league.
You crushed me.
We didn't crush them.
Took our money.
This is Billy's buddies, Josh and Steen. Where's my finger? There it is. There's Steen. Me, Billy, Ryan, Rick, Stone, Gregory.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, there you go. Thanks. Billy bet 16, Craigie Cole.
Mine's a 3 and 6.
Mine's a 3,000, 6,000. 15. Ooh, that's a herder.
Not no pair. 15.
14.
Got a call. You got a winner.
I'm all in. $29 more. It's 29 more, people. 29 more. This came.
Flip it over and
Oh! Shit!
Wow.
I think, hey, did I have a 10?
I don't know.
I think I had a
Poker's the worst game ever. This is why it's a tough game. Brutal game. Well, how's that for getting knocked out on a ridiculous hand? Billy and I really thought that we were going to go heads up for the final thing. We're in the World Series of Poker contest to get an entry in the World Series of Poker. And, of course, as per usual, Billy won the tournament. I got knocked out 6th, as you saw. Disappointing, but, man, my kid's ridiculous. Billy has played 20 times in our Wednesday Night Poker League and has won, not cashed, won 5 out of 20. 20%. He's also cashed in about 8 or 9, something like that. It's just ridiculous. All right, guys, by the financial measure, I am not having a good year at all. My goal was to win $25,000. I'm up $6,850 for the year. Pretty disappointing. So, I think a challenge is in order. The challenge is to run my $6,850 up to $10,000 by the end of the year. I don't play that much, so that might be a little bit aggressive, but hey, let's do it. I will post starting Wednesday Night Poker League tonight, and I will start posting my every session's win or loss. I'll show you how I'm tracking toward my goal of $10,000 for the year. It's got to make it to 5 digits. Jeez. I will say the last 5-6 weeks has been really, really good, and so I'm trending the right way, so I think I'm going to get there. All right, guys, I got to head out for Wednesday Night Poker League. This vlog will come out tomorrow on Thursday, and I want to thank you guys for pressing buttons and commenting and just being subscribers. Oh, I went over 1,000 subscribers. Yay me. It only took a year. Anyhow, thank you guys very much, and I'll see you all next week. Okay, tell the people goodbye.
Goodbye, people.